Hello YouTube, and this is Crashedata here. I do have Sniper McGuns sitting right next to me.
Hey everyone.
Well, I've decided to bring back the Crashedata computer tutorials, except now instead of using Windows XP for them, I'm going to be using Windows Vista because it's current. It's not old and crusty like Windows XP. Now, Windows Vista, if you know how to use it, is better than Windows XP in my opinion. There's a bunch of people that would contest me on that, but that's because they've never taken the time to learn it. For example, you can do this little cool trick, which is fairly easy. Everybody knows how to do that. So, let's get started. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a text logo using the GIMP image editing program. Now, the GIMP is essentially the same thing as Photoshop, except free and open source. I like free software. Don't you like free software, Nathan?
That I do.
So, you can basically do anything with the GIMP that you can do with Photoshop. You can make logos, you can edit photos, you can make photos look badass. Now, what I'm going to show you is a really basic way of making a logo. So, let's get started. Okay, first, obviously, click on Start. Always click on Start first. Now, click on All Programs. I'm talking to you like you're idiots, I'm sorry. Now, you'll want to find, when you install GIMP, it usually just, in the Start menu, installs to the GIMP folder. Go to the GIMP folder, and then click on GIMP 2. That's the current version of GIMP. Now, once you have GIMP started, you'll notice it looks like this. You got the toolbox with all your options over here, and then you've got your layers and general box over here. That's basically the same exact way that Photoshop is arranged. Next, you will want to click on File. Okay, after you click File, again, obviously, click New. Okay, after you click File, you'll notice this box pops up. You do not, well, I'm not going to select a template because I really don't need a template. You can select from several templates though, depending on what size you want. However, I'm just going to manually adjust the width and height in order to make sure I have enough room. After you've adjusted everything to what you think you need, or you know you need, you should know before doing it, click OK. You will notice that the watermark that was in the background on this window disappeared, and a white box appeared in the center. Now, in that white box is where you're going to do everything. People who are at least somewhat knowledgeable about image editing programs will already know that. Now, the next thing you will want to do is click on the fill bucket right here. After you click on the fill bucket, you will want to change it to a pattern fill, which is down here and right here. Now, this is just a basic tutorial. You can do it however you want. You can do a gradient fill, which would be this button. Experiment with the program and you can create some pretty awesome stuff. I encourage you to experiment, but for this tutorial I'm going to use a pattern fill. Now, after you select pattern fill right here, you will want to click on this right here to change the pattern to whatever pattern you want. Okay, after clicking pattern fill, you'll notice this window pops up. This is where you'll choose the pattern. You'll notice there's several patterns to choose from. For this tutorial, we are going to use this pattern. Now, you've already got the fill bucket selected, so you will just click on the white area once. And you'll notice it does that. Now, yes, I realize that is a block pattern that is intentional. This is a rough logo. So, after you've filled the area, you will want to select the text icon. Now, once you've selected the text icon, you'll want to select a font. For this tutorial, I am going to be using Tandell font. Now, this is where you'll scroll through and find your font. Now, once you've found the font you want, you will click on it once and then click on the color. I am going to change the color to blue and then click OK. Now you will click on the screen in any general area for now and then type what you want to appear. For example, I am going to type Crashedata Computer Tutorials. You will want to enlarge the font to where it's easily visible. You do that right here, if you can see where the mouse is. You got an up arrow and a down arrow. You just down for small, up for large, which is fairly obvious. I know most of you should know that. Now, as you can see, I have a typo in there. So, you will click on this box if you have a typo and press backspace once. And then, now that I have it the size I want it and it's all correct, you click close. Now once you've closed it, you'll want to move it to a more centered location. You will want to click this button first, the move tool, and then click and drag it to where you want it on the screen. Now this is a very basic logo right here we already have. We're going to do a little more to it. So now you will want to click filters. Now once you've clicked filters, you will want to go to blur. Now over to motion blur. Click on motion blur once. Now I'm going to do a zoom blur. Now I am going to click OK. The next thing we want to do is crop the image. That way we don't have this big square with text in the middle of it. So we will click this button, the crop tool. Now you'll drag this crop tool by clicking and dragging across the area you want. And then you will let go and then click once in this box right here. And that'll crop the image. You'll notice the rest of the image disappeared. Now, the next thing we want to do will require filters once again. So click filters again. Now that you're in the filters menu again, this time you will want to go to edge detect. Now that you're in the edge detect window, you will want to click on Sobel. So just click OK. And there is our completed logo. You can see it in the center of the screen right there, obviously. Again, experiment, find what works for you, what style you like. This was just a general demonstration. You'll notice you have the fading grid in the background. That was the point of doing the zoom. And the text gets slightly blurry towards the edges. That is another visual effect of that. Always save your work. You'll notice I already saved this once. So all I have to do is click File and then Save. And then click Save again. Now, I recommend saving it with a .jpg extension. If you don't type the .jpg extension on there, it'll automatically have a different extension which is only compatible with this program. So, always save your work. Now, there was one step in this tutorial I skipped. After typing the text before doing the zoom, you will want to save, close the program, well, not close the entire program, but close the project and then open it back up. Otherwise the zoom will not zoom properly. And that's this tutorial. I expect more Crashedata computer tutorials in the future.